The 2025 International Film Awards were already unforgettable before the night was over. But when the presenter opened the envelope and read the words, "And the best actor goes to Sam Heughan," the room erupted. Cheers thundered through the auditorium, cameras flashed like a storm, and in that single instant, years of dedication, sacrifice, and hope crystallized into one of the most emotional moments of Sam Heughan's career. Sam sat frozen for a heartbeat, his face etched with shock. Then, as his name echoed again across the grand hall, he rose to his feet, visibly trembling. Tears welled in his eyes as he hugged his colleagues before walking toward the stage. Every step carried the weight of his journey, from a young Scottish dreamer to a celebrated international star. As Sam reached the podium, the audience rose in unison, clapping with an energy that seemed to shake the walls. Meryl Streep wiped a tear. Cillian Murphy nodded with approval. And in the front rows sat Caitriona Balfe, Sam's longtime co-star and closest friend, her expression glowing with pride as her eyes shimmered with emotion. It wasn't just applause for a performance. It was a standing ovation for a decade-long odyssey. Sam's story wasn't the typical Hollywood fairy tale. He hadn't grown up in the industry or been handed roles on a silver platter. He was a boy from Balmaclellan, Scotland, raised far from the glitz of Los Angeles. His early career was marked by struggle, bit parts, rejected auditions, and years of anonymity. That changed in 2014, when he was cast as Jamie Fraser in Outlander. The role catapulted him into global stardom, but with it came immense pressure. For over a decade, he carried the weight of fan expectations, the intensity of a passionate fandom, and the grueling demands of filming. Yet Sam never faltered. He poured his heart into every scene, creating one of the most iconic characters of modern television. And as the series reached its final season in 2025, critics hailed his portrayal of Jamie Fraser as his finest work yet, raw, powerful, and deeply human. But Sam didn't stop there. That same year, he delivered a haunting performance in an independent film where he played a broken war veteran searching for redemption. The film, though small in budget, earned him widespread acclaim and solidified his versatility as an actor capable of both grandeur and subtlety. Together, these roles created a perfect storm, propelling him to the pinnacle of recognition. When the applause finally faded, Sam gripped the golden trophy, his hands shaking. He took a deep breath, but his voice cracked on the first words. "I never thought this moment would come. I was just a boy from Scotland with a dream, and tonight, you've made that dream real." The audience gasped softly, the sincerity of his words cutting through the glamour. He thanked the producers, directors, and castmates who had guided him. Then he turned his gaze to Caitriona, smiling through tears. "Caitriona, you've been my partner in this journey since the very beginning. I couldn't have done this without your strength, your friendship, and your brilliance." The cameras immediately cut to Caitriona, who dabbed at her eyes, her pride unmistakable. Sam's voice grew steadier as he addressed his fans, his hooligans, as they proudly call themselves. "To every single fan who stood by me, who believed when I didn't, who kept me going when things felt impossible, this isn't just my award. It's ours. You carried me here." The hall erupted again, with many in the crowd visibly wiping away tears. Online, millions of fans watching the live broadcast flooded social media with hashtags like #BestActorSamHeughan, #ProudHooligans, and #FromScotlandToStardom.Backstage. Journalists scrambled to capture the magnitude of the moment. Headlines began to form instantly. "Sam Heughan wins big, brings Hollywood to tears, Outlander star crowned Best Actor 2025." Hollywood insiders predicted that this was only the beginning. "Sam has crossed into the upper echelon," one critic remarked. "This opens the door to Oscar campaigns, blockbuster roles, and opportunities that were once out of reach." But while industry chatter swirled, the heart of the night remained Sam's raw, emotional authenticity. His trembling voice, his visible gratitude, his vulnerability. These were the elements that elevated the moment beyond a mere award acceptance. As Sam left the stage, still wiping his eyes, fans knew they had witnessed more than a victory. They had seen the culmination of years of perseverance, the triumph of resilience over rejection, and the reward of an artist who had never stopped believing in his craft. For Caitriona Balfe, sitting in the audience, the moment was doubly powerful. She had walked beside Sam through the highs and lows of Outlander. She had seen his struggles, his doubts, his relentless drive. And now, watching him finally hold the golden statue, she knew the world was seeing what she had always known. Sam Heughan was not just a star. He was an actor of the highest order. And yet, as moving as the award night was, the tearful truth behind Sam's victory would come later, when Caitriona herself revealed the unseen struggles, sacrifices, and battles that had shaped his path. The night Sam Heughan walked off the stage clutching his Best Actor trophy, Hollywood celebrated his triumph. The world saw the golden moment, the standing ovation, and the tears of joy. But what they didn't see, what they could never have known, was the decade of hardship and heartbreak that had paved the road to that stage. And it was Caitriona Balfe, his closest friend and partner in arms for over a decade on Outlander, who revealed the tearful truth behind Sam's win. "I saw him struggle." In an emotional interview following the ceremony, Caitriona spoke candidly, her voice heavy with emotion. "People see the glamour of tonight, but they don't see the struggle. I saw Sam at his lowest. I saw him fight for roles and be told no, over and over. I saw him pour his heart into auditions only to be dismissed. There were times he questioned whether acting was even his path." Her words painted a portrait starkly different from the glittering award show highlights. Sam Heughan, now celebrated as a Best Actor, had once been a young man on the verge of giving up. Caitriona recalled their earliest days together on the set of Outlander, when neither of them could have imagined the phenomenon the show would become. "We were just two actors, hoping to do justice to Diana Gabaldon's story. But I watched Sam carry Jamie Fraser with such dedication. It wasn't just acting, it was sacrifice. He gave his soul to that role. For over a decade, Sam shouldered the character of Jamie Fraser. Fans adored him for it, but Caitriona revealed the toll it took. People don't realize the physical and emotional demands. The grueling filming schedules, the long nights, the pressure of fans expecting perfection. There were days Sam could barely stand from exhaustion, but he never complained. He always gave everything. She described moments when Sam suffered injuries on set, pushed through illness, and worked under relentless conditions. Yet through it all, he never lost focus. Jamie Fraser was his gift to the world, but it cost him more than people know. Perhaps the most shocking part of Caitriona's revelation was that Sam had nearly walked away from acting altogether. "There was a time," she admitted, tears forming, "when Sam told me he wasn't sure he could keep going. He felt overlooked, boxed in by Jamie, afraid he'd never be seen as anything else. I told him, 'You're more than one role. You have so much more to give.' But he didn't always believe it." It was during those low points that Caitriona became his anchor. "We were each other's support system. When he doubted himself, I reminded him of his worth. I wasn't going to let him give up, not when I knew the world hadn't seen the full depth of his talent yet." Caitriona also revealed the backstory behind the independent film that helped secure Sam's Best Actor win. "He almost didn't take the role," she confessed. "It was a small-budget project, and after Outlander, people expected him to chase blockbusters. But Sam said, 'I want to prove I can do more. I want to tell stories that matter.'" The role of a broken war veteran searching for redemption became the key that unlocked his victory. "I saw him disappear into that character," Caitriona said. "It wasn't about fame or money, it was about truth. And that's why it resonated. Because Sam was living that truth." As Caitriona recounted Sam's journey, her voice broke. "When they called his name at the awards, I cried because I knew what it cost him. I knew the nights he doubted himself, the times he felt invisible, the sacrifices he made. This wasn't just a win, it was survival. It was proof that everything he endured was worth it." Her words struck a chord with fans who had followed Sam's career for years. Online, the hashtags shifted from celebration to reflection. #Tearful Truth, #Caitriona on Sam, #Behind the Win. Fans shared their own stories of struggle and perseverance, inspired by the revelation that even a star like Sam had faced near breaking points. Caitriona's revelations reframed Sam's Best Actor win. It was no longer just about a performance or a role. It was about resilience. It was about an actor who had fought for his place in the industry, who had endured rejection, exhaustion, and self-doubt, and who had finally emerged victorious. Hollywood will talk about his award, Caitriona concluded, but I will always remember the journey. The tears, the sacrifices, the sheer grit it took to stand on that stage. That's the truth that will always stay with me. In the end, the truth shocked not because it was scandalous, but because it was deeply human. The man fans saw smiling with a golden trophy was the same man who once sat in the dark, wondering if he would ever make it. And through Caitriona's eyes, the world saw that Sam Heughan's legacy was not just built on talent. It was built on perseverance, humility, and the quiet courage to keep moving forward, even when the odds seemed impossible. As Caitriona's voice cracked with emotion, she summed it up in one final sentence. This win is his, but the journey belongs to all of us who believed.